Hello and welcome to Hit the Road. It's great to be back. I have with me on this episode Kabir and Sapna Rachure, India's fastest ultracycling team, and completed this year two race across Americas back to back. This is the world's toughest race, guys, and it's not an easy feat. 5,000 kilometers to be covered in just 11 days, and they have done it. Listen what went into making this race happen, and two lucky winners will get a chance to win an amazing backpack that will help you manage your luggage better and tour even better. All you got to do is follow Tripod Gears and Hit the Road Pod on Instagram. On the latest post, this one, comment which two members would you like to have on your crew team. Let us know, and you could win an amazing backpack thanks to our partners at Tripod Gears. So, enjoy the episode and don't forget to participate in this giveaway contest. Hello and welcome to Hit the Road. This is India's #1 podcast for all you cycling and triathlon enthusiasts. My name is Rohan Thakar and it's so good to be back with another exciting episode. And this is super exciting because for the first time we have Team Kabir Rachure's core members, Kabir and Sapna Rachure. Welcome to the show, both of you. It's so great to have you.
थँक्यू. एवढ्या एनर्जेटिक वेलकम नंतर काय बोलायचं? थँक्यू.
Kabir and Sapna, so good to have you. Kabir, of course, we have spoken several times on several occasions, both online and offline in the podcast. You have loved him speaking on the show, and for the first time ever, I've been trying to get her for the last 2 years, but it's finally happening. And Sapna, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rohan. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, Kabir, how was the experience of the race of RAM 2022?
It was smooth actually as a rider's part. It was totally smooth, no difficulties, no challenges except wind. But I think it was smooth because crew took a lot of efforts. So I don't know how it was for Sapna and other people, because for me it was smooth. So जेव्हा कोणती गाडी फास्ट जाते, गाडी गरम नाही होत बट इंजन गरम होतं त्याचा. सो आय गेस इंजन ला भरपूर मेहनत करायला लागली असेल सो दॅट व्हेकल कॅन गो फास्ट. सो आय वॉज स्मूथ, बट आय डोंट नो हाउ वॉज इट फॉर सपना, बिकॉज आई नेवर आस्क्ड देम कि कैसा था या जो भी है. वो पब्लिक तो खुश है कि चलो राइडर अच्छे से पहुंच गया तो पहुंच गया, बट बिहाइंड द सीन आई डोंट नो क्या क्या हुआ उनके साथ.
सो यही बात करने वाला है, क्योंकि कबीर के साथ तो सबने बात कर लिया है, बट
आई नो
वो फरारी के पीछे जो V10 इंजन है उसके बारे में बात करेंगे. सो सपना, व्हाट वाज योर एक्सपीरियंस विद द रेस एंड बीइंग द crew behind Kabir?
Okay, so this time it was, there was a lot of hard work which went in before the race, and we had planned everything and we only had to execute it during the race. But that was the toughest task because we were worried कि थोड़ा भी अगर इधर उधर हुआ, so then what is it that we are going to have to face? Because it's not only about us. अगर हमारा प्लान में थोड़ा सा भी कुछ मिस्टेक हुआ, so it's Kabir who will have to suffer and not us, because we are anyways, we don't have to ride. Kabir has to ultimately ride. So so we were looking at every next step, not the entire race. So our plan was to go properly in every next step. So okay, we have to reach there safely, we should not have any jet lag. Okay, then we have to reach the start line safely, then we should start safely, then we should cross Arizona safely. Kabir का पहला sleep properly होना चाहिए, then दूसरा sleep properly होना चाहिए. So we had segregated this into the sections. Okay, so this is your first step, this is your next step. So that's how we tried to do it. Some places, yes, it didn't go as per the plan, at least for my plan, but then some places it was perfect, and then whatever we decided, it went as per the plan.
So how about we begin planning from Bombay? Like this is your second ramp, and a lot might have you might have taken from the first part as well. So what are some of the things as a crew racing in a different country, in a different environment, transitioning through different time zones and climatic changes? So how was it for you in the first 2 years back? How was it for you?
Okay, so in comparison to this year, I would say in 2019, I will talk about myself. At least I was not as prepared as I was this time. I don't think even the entire team was like as prepared or as ready like this year we were, because this time we did not do the mistakes that we did in 2019. And the
Mm-hmm.
planning for 2022, that time we didn't know that we are going to do it in 22. That time it was for us that we are going to do it in 20. So the
Yeah.
planning started when Kabir reached finish line of 2019.
Hmm.
So the next day we started on the planning for the next ram. I
Arey
mean,
wah.
we had to figure out what went wrong, what were our
Hmm.
mistakes, what we
Hmm.
learned from those mistakes, what we
Can you
should not
share some of
repeat
them?
in the next time. Okay, so for example, the I would say that RV really did not help us taking an RV,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel that the most experienced and the best drivers should be behind Kabir, and not managing a vehicle which is not going to be behind Kabir,
Hmm.
because driving is a crucial part and RV takes away your experienced drivers.
Hmm.
So, and even if they are not going to be there for long time, but that's an additional responsibility for them also. So we always feel that after Kabir, if it has to be somebody, then the follow drivers who should get the maximum rest and
Hmm.
maximum relaxation, because their task is as difficult as what anybody can imagine. Like rest of the people can rest, stop and do whatever they feel like, but the follow drivers don't get to do that. So
Yeah.
the first thing we decided is that we are not going to take RV in the next year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we thought in 2019. And then we had a lot of things to plan for, because if RV is not there, then you have to plan on all the sleeps, all the hotels, then you have
Right.
to make sure that Kabir gets everything at a proper time. When his break time comes, then he should get to sleep, he should get to take a bath, and everything he should have available. So then that time we realized that then we need to do the entire research before we come here for the next time, if we are not going to take the RV.
Mm-hmm.
Then the second thing was, I felt that some of the things which, rather than doing it on the road, we should prepare it when we are preparing for the race, and then we should only execute these things during the race and not actually look for these. Like
Yeah.
last time when we had to search hotels for the crew, etc., so we used to do that on the go when we were on the road. So
Hmm.
that used to take a lot of time from me, because then I was not able to properly focus on what is going on in the ride. So this time I had decided that no, I will fix the places, I'll figure
Hmm.
out the places, and then the only thing which we have to do is we have to see we are nearby which place, and we just have to book that and go there.
Okay.
So these were major two, three aspects that I think we changed from the last time.
So your checkpoints were fixed this time.
Yes, not checkpoint as such, but the places at whichever place
Huh.
we are, we should have the places in hand that
Yeah.
okay, these are the places available and we can go here.
Hmm.
Because we didn't know that how the weather is going to play and how it is going to be, or what is our speed is going to be, because you cannot always imagine that हम दूसरी बार जा रहे हैं तो हम फास्ट जाएंगे. ऐसा भी हो
Hmm.
सकता है कि हम दूसरी बार जा रहे हैं तो हम पहली बार से भी स्लो जाएंगे.
Right. So, what is happening when Kabir is riding?
So when Kabir is riding, I think I have never crewed anybody else in my life, but from whatever I have heard from other people, I think it would be a biggest punishment for all of us who crew Kabir to crew somebody else. Because it's always, मतलब वो 23 घंटा साइकिल पे हुआ है, वो 24 घंटा
Huh.
साइकिल पे है. Even if he has not slept for like last 24 hours, 25 hours, I mean, he'll never get angry. He's always calm, patient. He's cracking jokes, and only if he's not in mood to talk and all, he'll remain silent. He'll not do anything else. I mean, I have never seen him getting angry at anyone in the crew. So that's I think is the thing which I always feel that I don't know how he manages, because if with me it's completely ulta. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm the one who gets angry very easily. Sometimes he's riding and I get angry at him. ये मत कर, ये क्यों कर रहा है, वो क्यों कर रहा है. So
Huh.
it's other way around. So then also he says okay, ठीक है, sorry, कोई नहीं.
कबीर, क्या कहना है इसके बारे
बघ
में?
frankly speaking, I have less load. मला फक्त पेडल करायचं, so
हम्म.
nothing difficult in that. And the riders who make tantrums while cycling, I don't know why do they do it, because you can't turn things into your favor with your anger. जर तुला स्पीड
हम्म.
नाही मिळत आणि तू चिडल्यावरती जर तुला स्पीड मिळाली असती, मी जोर जोरात ओरडलो असतो थांबून रस्त्यावरती
हाँ.
की मग मला स्पीड मिळायला सुरू होईल. बट यू डोंट हॅव एनिथिंग, म्हणजे त्यात इतका लोड घ्यायची काही गरज नाही. अँड वेन यू बी पेशंट अँड बी काम, दिस इज नॉट अ वॉर की
Yeah.
ज्याच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला अग्रेशनची गरज आहे. दिस इज ऑल युअर मेंटल game, so you just have
Yes.
to keep patient and all, whereas crew has lots of things to deal with. For me, if they take 1 minute longer than usual to give
Hmm.
me the any nutrition supply or something, that is just
हाँ.
1 minute for me, but it feels like month for them in the car, because
Yeah.
they are continuously watching me. I'm riding and they feel like अरे कबीर को nutrition देना था. But these guys have lot of pressure and lot of things to do with.
Yeah.
So and Sapna manages the entire team, so she
Yes.
works. So if you see that we have 10 people crew, so actually we have 15 people crew, because
Yeah.
Sapna works almost as good as equal to 5 people to do all the bookings, to make food. She
Hmm.
made food for like 7 days. She, Devika, Geeta, and Rutvik
Hmm.
used to make the food. म्हणजे somebody used to cut vegetables,
Yeah.
somebody used to wash dishes and all. But Sapna made food for like 7 days before the race. Even during the race, to make my nutrition, my dinner. So all these things, and all those expenses what she has to manage, so it gives bit pressure to her. But
Yeah.
yeah, riders का मेरे को समझ में नहीं आता when somebody gets angry, when we hear कि अरे इसने क्रू को गाली दिया है, उसने क्रू को सुनाया.
Hmm.
There is always a way to सुनाओ also. मतलब you don't
Yeah.
have to uh, shout or get angry or do that. You can just tell them politely that this is not going to work and you should
Hmm.
follow what we have decided. So that's how we work, and that's why there are so many people in the crew. I don't I actually find difficulty to pick and choose for some races, because we have like 20 good people around us
Hmm.
who can crew equally well.
Yeah.
And बाकी के लोगों का, when I see, they don't even have 3 crew members for DC. They're like
Hmm.
crew manage करना पड़ेगा, crew ढूंढना पड़ेगा. So that is because of your behavior and your nature towards them, because this is
Right.
all selfless job. यहाँ पे कोई तुमको क्रू करने के लिए, मतलब किसी को रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं है कि करना ही है, उसका नौकरी चला जाएगा अगर वो नहीं करेगा ठीक से तो.
Hmm.
So
It's volunteer.
yeah, it is voluntary
Hmm.
decision hai. So you have to behave properly, give
Yeah.
them the respect what they deserve. So that's how it goes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, completely agree with that. So, Sapna,
Hmm.
what is, everyone is curious as a crew manager. What is it that you do and what is it others do? How do you take care of Kabir's nutrition, his physio sessions? How is it planned? How are the breaks planned? And you mentioned that there were some of the mistakes that you committed in the first, your first attempt. And how did you correct them this time?
So, from the rider's perspective, this year certain decisions were taken that okay, sleep will be only and only Kabir's call and nobody else's call. So,
Hmm.
whenever Kabir says that I want to sleep, he will sleep. And whenever Kabir says that now I don't want to sleep, he will not sleep. Even if there is a plan, there is a place, okay,
Hmm.
we have decided, we have worked out on a place. So, we had decided that we will only inform him that okay, next
Yeah.
place is available at this place, and if you don't sleep over there, then the uh, then the next available place is after like 100 kilometers or 120 kilometers. So if
Yeah.
you feel like sleeping during that period, then you will have to manage it in the vehicle and you will not get a proper place to sleep. So he was aware, like we were planning all this for last 7-8 months, we were figuring out. So he knew that okay, which are the places where he has the place to sleep,
Hmm.
and which are the places where he doesn't have the place to sleep. And coming to the crew, I would really say that Kabir is really very lucky to have these kind of people around him.
Yeah.
Like whoever are there, everybody is so dedicated towards Kabir that I really don't have to do anything for explaining them, okay, you have to do this or you have to do that. Everybody knows what they have to do and everybody knows their job. And there is not even a single person who will not follow the instructions properly. Like if people know that okay, this is what you have to do, no questions asked, nothing, they'll say okay,
Hmm.
because they know that what is coming to them, what instruction is coming to them, behind that instruction there is a lot of thought which we have already put in. We have
Hmm.
thought from all the angles. So they will never suggest you that nahi nahi aise nahi karenge वैसे करेंगे या ऐसे करके देखें क्या. So they know that when we are on the road, we this is not the time to like give your ideas during this.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of brainstorming that happened from January onwards, Kabir ka training ride onwards. We had a lot of meetings every weekend. There was a Zoom call session. Everybody was like, and there are various things which show you people's dedication towards you. Like
Hmm.
all our Zoom call meetings used to be on Sunday morning at about 8:30. So you know that how people, like everybody
Yeah.
works whole week, and then joining a Zoom call on Sunday morning for somebody else's race itself is a task. Like but
Hmm.
nobody used to miss that call. Everybody used to be there. If somebody is not going to be there, they used to inform us 1 week in
Yeah.
advance, okay, this is the problem, I may not be there. So we used to have a separate session with that person during the weekday as per their convenience. But I don't think more than 2 or 3 occasions somebody could not join it. So that
Yeah.
shows their dedication towards Kabir, because for 6 months doing it every Sunday itself needs a great amount
Absolutely.
of dedication for the
I
race.
would just like to, pause you here and ask you this question. Like, I'm sure many, every year we see new ultra cyclists coming up and they are setting up their crew. You yourself have done several rides together. So now you have a camaraderie and you exactly know what is required when. But for those who are, let's say they are attempting their first DC this time. So
Hmm.
how do you align goals of your crew? Because like you said, they are volunteers and with enthusiasm, yeah, it's possible for some time. But how do you keep it going longer period? This question is for both of you.
Okay, so if you're doing it for the first time, I mean, I'm not the best person to tell you how to do it for the first time, because when it was my first time, I didn't know anything. I mean, I only knew that I have to go behind Kabir और उसको पानी देना है जब मांगेगा और उसको कुछ मांगेगा तब वो देना है. So
हाँ.
I think that's how we were. But then if I have to choose myself when I was in my first race, I'll reject myself. Like कि नहीं तू को नहीं बन सकती तो तू जा. So okay, so but nowadays people are, I think, way more knowledgeable, and they are aware about all these things, and they know how to. There is a lot of information which is available.
Thanks to the
When
podcast.
yes, and when we had gone, so I don't remember that we knew anything. So the only thing we
Yeah.
knew कि अच्छा ठीक है rules पढ़ के चलो, इसमें से कुछ गलती मत करो और ये करो. So but I think new people should have crew members who are like who are completely dedicated towards the rider, not because just okay, there are various kind of people who want to crew. One is some
Hmm.
people will crew only when you want to go with that person who is riding. Okay, that
Yeah.
is maybe kind of people who are us, me, Tushar, Ratnadeep and all that. There are few people who want to crew because they want to attempt that race in a coming years, or they want to
Yeah.
see the route and all these things. There are few people who feel that okay ठीक है चलो घूम के आएंगे गोवा चलते हैं. So that's the category you should, I think, completely avoid कि okay ठीक है घूम के आते हैं तो चलो चलते हैं. So
हाँ.
I don't think that somebody who just want to go there for fun and just want to see the place, you should take these kind of people. And there are many ways to figure out the dedication of the people whom you are taking with you before the race. I mean,
Yeah.
keep the meetings at such odd hours and see how many people join you.
Hmm.
कि ठीक है हमें प्लानिंग करना है, इतने बजे है या ये है या वीकेंड पे है. सो and go with them for few rides, like fix few rides outdoor, and then see how many people turn up on those days to do a training ride with you. Because after so many years now, I know that I have people who will cancel their all the plans, whatever may be, or how big that plan may be, if it is Kabir's, even if it is Kabir's training ride, not even a race. So find out from those people and see how rigid these people are, if they can
Yeah.
be flexible or not. Because this is not something like a holiday. This is a task that you are going to do. It's like a duty, and you are
It's a
going on
year-long
some.
commitment, I would say.
Correct. And you are going on an assignment, not
Hmm.
for fun purpose, but you have to complete something by going there. So
Yeah.
you need your dedication, and you have to be like committed to that work. So see, those people are, you are not sure whether 15 घंटे तुम्हें कभी खाने को मिलेगा भी कि नहीं मिलेगा. कभी कभी like, I mean, I don't know, but DC के time पे तो literally my follow vehicle people wear diapers and sit in the car because Kabir doesn't stop at all in DC. So they know that हमको पी करने के लिए भी टाइम नहीं मिलने वाला है. So that's kind of a commitment you need from people. I mean, they use it, they don't use it, that's another aspect and another
Backup
argument.
होता है.
But बेचारे वो पानी तक नहीं पीते. खाना भी, like, we give them food from the other vehicle, we give them packed food, and then okay, खा लो ये, खा लो वो, खा लो. They eat in the car, they sit in the car for the whole time. They know that हमको अगर ब्रेक लेना है रात को तो कबीर को रुकना पड़ेगा. So they are ready. They are ready to sit in the car for 22-24 hours. कि नहीं, कबीर नहीं रुकेगा तो हम भी नहीं रुकेंगे. And that kind of a commitment you need from people. So I think unless somebody is, and if somebody is so rigid कि नहीं मुझे तो हर घंटे रुकना ही पड़ता है, पानी पीना है, मुझे मेरा पैर सीधा करना है, मुझे मेरा बैक सीधा करना है, तो नहीं, वैसे लोग नहीं चलेंगे. और ये सब चीज ट्रेनिंग राइड पे पता चल जाता है.
हाँ.
So I
Also,
think
not many are
training rides
used to
the
it. So
benefit.
it's not that they do it on purpose, but they are not used to a certain, this kind
No,
of
but
activity.
But I would say that I think
आदत कर लो.
ultracycling is something जिधर तुम लोगों को uncomfortable होने के लिए
हाँ.
सीखना पड़ेगा. मतलब
हाँ.
तुम ऐसा नहीं बोल सकते कि मैं मेरे comfort zone में ही जाऊंगा. Like, there are many of us who are not used to many things. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not used to sit in the car for 20 hours daily. I mean, still we are in Mumbai, so we are used to it कि 1.5 घंटा 2 घंटा हम बैठते हैं. But then 20 घंटा तो हम 12 दिन कभी नहीं बैठते हैं, पर फिर भी बैठना पड़ता है.
Of
So
course.
you can't cry about all these things. I mean, there are many things, like I never stay awake after 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. पर रेसेस के
हाँ.
बीच में मैं 4 5 बजे तक भी जागती हूँ, 5 बजे तक काम भी करती हूँ. So like
हाँ.
many of my crew members, like, they eat on time, they sleep on time, but then they forget everything when they have to go for the race.
Yeah.
So ऐसा नहीं है कि, and when you want to do something like this, you have to manage it.
Yeah.
And ऐसा नहीं है कि crewing for ultra races is joke. आपका खुद का भी उतना endurance होना जरूरी है. And if you have some issues, medical issues, और ऐसा कुछ है जिससे you know that your attention might divert to some other, मतलब अपने guider से हटके अगर तुम्हारे ऊपर आने वाला है. See, if someone has migraine का issues, जिसको बहुत frequently migraine आता है, he is of no use in crew. Okay,
Exactly.
वो उसका intention बहुत अच्छा होगा, वो बंदा काम भी बहुत अच्छा करता है,
वो fit
but
नहीं है उसके लिए.
अगर फिट नहीं है उसके लिए तो इट इज बेटर कि आप जाओ ही नहीं वहां पे. ओके, क्योंकि आप ना जाके उसके ऊपर ज्यादा मेहरबानी कर रहे हो राइडर के ऊपर, rather than going and उसका रेस टेक पे लेके आने से अच्छा. सो ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर आप फिजिकल कैपेसिटी नहीं है तो आप उस रेसर के काम के नहीं हो कुछ भी. यू कैन डू अदर प्लानिंग, यू कैन असिस्ट देम विद ऑल दोज लॉजिस्टिक थिंग्स, एंड जो भी अगर आपका बहुत ज्यादा मन है तो. सो वॉर पे अगर देखोगे तो कभी भी सबसे हाईएस्ट जो आर्मी ऑफिसर्स है या जो भी है, वो लोग खुद गन लेके नहीं जाते, दे डू ऑल द प्लानिंग. तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो आर्मी में नहीं है, क्योंकि किसी किसी लोगों को लगता है कि अगर आपने जंग ही नहीं लड़ी तो फिर क्या बात है. तो वैसा नहीं होता है. हर एक बंदे का एक एक जगह होता है जहाँ पे वो परफेक्ट फिट होता है. सो अगर हम फिजिकली उतने फिट नहीं है, एंड वो मिसकंसेप्शन तो भूल ही जाना चाहिए. बहुत लोग सोचते हैं कि अगर फिजिकली फिट होगा तो ही अच्छा फिट बंदा है. हमने इतने लोग देखे जो फिजिकली इतने ज्यादा फिट है लेकिन वो बिल्कुल भी फिट नहीं है क्रू करने के लिए. एंड जो लोग ऐसे लगेगा कि अगर नहीं ये थोड़ा ओवरवेट है या थोड़े ज्यादा हेल्दी है, वो लोग इन फिजिकल फिट लोगों से 5 गुना ज्यादा फास्ट है. सो वो टोटली अलग है. मतलब आपका एंड्योरेंस किस चीज से है, आपका क्या, कहाँ से आप एनर्जी लेके आते हो, क्या आपका डेडिकेशन है, वो टोटली डिफरेंट मैटर करता है. सो इट्स पर्सन टू पर्सन, मतलब जो भी है. सो क्रू चूज करना बहुत ही ज्यादा क्रूशियल काम है. एंड आई वुड से कोई ऐसा बंदा होना चाहिए जो आपके फैमिली में से हो या जो आपसे बहुत ज्यादा क्लोज हो. मैं तो बोलूंगा एटलीस्ट 2 लोग वैसे क्रू में होने चाहिए. बिकॉज जिस बंदे का आपके साथ अटैचमेंट नहीं है स्टार्टिंग में, अभी तो मेरा पूरा क्रू ऐसा है कि हर एक का अटैचमेंट मुझसे उतना ही है. बट कभी कभी ऐसे होता है कि कोई अननोन लोग लेके आ जाएगा क्रू में, जो पहले ज्यादा मिले नहीं होता है. जस्ट एक ही मोटिव होता है कि हाँ हमको रेस करना है साथ में. मैंने देखा है कि ऐसे लोग राइडर को छोड़ भी देते हैं बीच रेस में से. ओके, तो यू नीड दैट कोर मेंबर्स जो आपको कुछ भी वर्स्ट सिनारियो हो जाए वो आपको छोड़ के नहीं जाएंगे.
या
ओके, सो वैसे 2 लोग तो आपको हमेशा रखने ही पड़ेंगे. बिकॉज दीज रेसेस आर ऑल अबाउट दीज थिंग्स. मतलब आपको ऐसे ऐसे सिनारियो सोचने पड़ते हैं जो कभी होंगे भी नहीं, कि अगर मेरे को क्रू ही छोड़ के चला गया तो मैं क्या करूं, या राइडर ने किसी क्रू को छोड़ दिया तो वो क्या करेगा. सो ऑल दिस प्लानिंग शुड बी बिफोर द रेस, क्योंकि आपके पास कुछ तो बैकअप रहेगा. अगर गाड़ी खराब हो गया तो हम क्या करेंगे, हमको जूम कार लेना है तो कहाँ कहाँ से उठा सकते हैं. सो ये सारी प्लानिंग रेस के पहले ही होते हैं. दिस इज ऑल चेंजेस योर रेस.
Yeah. So Sapna, we were talking about your, the adaptations that you did. Coming back to it, yeah, please continue.
This time after it started, our first goal was like, okay, so Kabir should have a proper sleep at after like maybe 24 hours, 25 hours, wherever we reach. And the toughest task for us was, last time he had slept at a place called Salom, which is a fifth time station on the ram route. So, and it was so hot, it was in Arizona, it was so hot. So our concern was, okay, ऐसी जगह पे कबीर को सुलाने का कोई मतलब नहीं है जहाँ पे उसका नींद भी ठीक से नहीं होगा, and there is only that time that we are killing and there is no use of that place at all. So we were figuring out on the first sleep, and I think that was the toughest task for me in this preparation for last 3 years. So because I was not able to get a place which I would feel that, okay, Kabir will have a proper sleep at this place. So I had figured out on the place which is called Yarnell Grade, which is on the top of the Yarnell climb, and I saw the temperatures etc in that place, so which I found that it is quite pleasant than
Favorable.
the rest of the other places. But then the toughest task was there were no places to stay in Yarnell. So, and the next stop we had, which was around 140 kilometers after Yarnell Grade. So it was quite difficult that, okay, to figure out this place. Then when we figured out the place, then we were worried that, okay, Kabir वहाँ पे कब तक पहुँचेगा, कितनी देर में पहुँचेगा, मतलब बहुत जल्दी तो नहीं पहुंच जाएगा या बहुत लेट तो नहीं हो जाएगा. So these were the things we had to, but then I think luckily that place was okay. So that was like a crossing a first hurdle for us.
Yeah.
कि इसका पहला स्लीप अच्छे से हो गया. And then thereafter, then we again started, okay, after the first sleep went on properly etc. So that's how we were planning. Like every day we used to ask Kabir, okay, now today what time you want to sleep. I think at 2 places it was quite he had to ride more than what we had planned for, like 3 hours or 4 hours extra than what we had planned for. But he didn't complain. But things like this really, like, we really feel bad that, okay, theek hai, because of our mistake Kabir had to ride for 3 or 4 hours continuously. And
So just to understand what might be the reason that you overshot.
No, one place what happened was after it was, I think, somewhere around Jefferson City, which is the 33rd time station. So one of our vehicle was there was a puncture in one of our vehicle, and that vehicle was gonna take quite some time to get fixed and come back behind us. Or for that period, me and Kazi were there in the auxiliary vehicle, and we were giving support to Kabir for like almost 6-7 hours. So the place which I had thought in my mind that we are going to be at this place, and that place was actually 22 miles more than what I had thought of. So 22 to 30 miles more than what I had thought of. But during that entire because our half of the concentration on the other vehicle, and we were worried when are they going to come and when are they going to join. I what estimate I gave to Kabir was like almost 3 hours lesser than what it was going to take. So then Kabir had mentally prepared himself, okay, ठीक है मुझे वहां तक चलाना है. But then when we actually figured out when the other vehicle joined back, I had to tell him that no, it's not at this, but it's 3 hours more you'll have to ride on this route. So then, and it was I think almost seventh or eighth day. So on a eighth day, something like this, some surprise like this, I don't think any rider is going to like. But then Kabir was like,
Yeah.
okay, ठीक है, चलो चलते हैं, कोई बात नहीं.
इस बार नागिन डांस हुआ था? नहीं
नहीं,
नहीं
नागिन
हुआ,
डांस नहीं हुआ
कहीं
इस
पे भी
बार,
नहीं
कहीं
हुआ।
पे भी नहीं हुआ.
नहीं,
वाह. सो
इस बार नाग दारू पी के जा रहा था, सो नाग एकदम सीधा चला, सो नागिन डांस नहीं हुआ कहीं पे भी।
Yeah, so also sleep was one aspect. How did you take care of nutrition? What did you cook? How did you plan to fuel him? And also you had this GCM with you, so how did this kind of tech help you in planning further?
So nutrition was we had fixed it ki okay, what are we going to give him and what is
Yeah.
it that he's going to drink during the ride. In the training ride it was completely fixed, everything. So we had thought that we will go as per the plan. We will make sure that he's fully hydrated and everything is on time. And then only when we have to give him some solid food and all that, we had kept it like open, whatever is available, whatever Kabir wants to eat, like that. And we had decided we are going to cook only once in a day for him, that
Okay.
is prior to his proper sleep break, because we did not have an RV. And this time we were carrying that small portable gas with us, with that chota cylinder jo aata hai, camping ka gas. And
हाँ.
then we had carried all of the rest of the things with us, that okay, we can make like at least 6-7 items handy that we can give it to him.
Yeah.
So and this time I think before we reached this Flagstaff, which is on the second day we reach usually, we came to know that there is some wildfire, and in the entire country they had put these restrictions about this camping and preparing food on the road and all these things. So when we reached the first place, we did not have a problem because they had this cooking ka pura kitchen, etc. Everything was
Yeah.
there. But when we reached his second sleep break wala place, literally we had to like convince that hotel people that okay, please allow us to cook in the parking. We will take care. We will not allow anything to happen.
Yeah.
We only need 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So we were doing this at every place and convincing them, okay, allow us to cook and all that. So, and it was simple, like बेचारा वो कंप्लेन भी नहीं करता, लेकिन 6 दिन कंटिन्यूअस उसने सिर्फ दाल खिचड़ी खाया. बिकॉज वो सबसे इजीएस्ट चीज होता था हमारे लिए बनाने के लिए भी और उसके लिए
हाँ.
खाने के लिए भी. सो वी यूज्ड टू कुक दाल खिचड़ी लाइक फॉर फर्स्ट 6 days, एंड देन व्हेन वी स्टार्टेड फीलिंग कि ठीक है अभी थोड़ा देर और ज्यादा यूज कर सकते हैं एंड ऑल दैट, देन वी मेड सम
हाँ.
पकोड़ाज ऑन one day, some day we cooked fish for him. So like that. And during the day we used to cook only once before he sleep, so
Okay.
he used to eat and sleep.
Awesome.
And rest of the nutrition, like I was there in one of the shift, and me and Devika were there in one of the shift, and in the next shift Devyani and Geeta, they used to take care of the nutrition. So
Okay.
we used to include I think fruits, lot of fruits in his daily intake, etc. And hydration was like he has this SN energy when he's riding. Then there is Jew gel, etc., which he likes to have. And in the
Yeah.
solid food, he this time I think sub was the king of his food. He used to have lot of subs, and then पहला खत्म होने के पहले वो पूछता था दूसरा रेडी है कि नहीं है मेरे.
because that sugar level पे हमको उस पर proper sustained energy दिख रहा था. So yeah, again you get results out of something, तो तुमको वही चाहिए continuously. But yeah, Jaipur and Bombay ka ride was eye opener I guess for us when we did it as a practice ride. So तभी बहुत चीजें पता चल गई थी कि how this nutrition is working, how hydration is going. So इसलिए RAM में वो task थोड़ा hassle free हो गया था because we knew
Yeah.
कि कभी कभी कितना खाना है. सो इस बार तो बहुत खाया, इस बार बहुत ज्यादा मन भर भर के खाया.
Wow. And talking about the ride sections, so which was the best part and which was the toughest part as a rider and as a crew? So Kabir से शुरू करते हैं.
As a rider, just Kansas was the toughest
हाँ,
part. Just Kansas because बहुत ज़्यादा wind था.
windy.
Even that we
हाँ,
were telling about that 3 घंटा ज़्यादा जो चलाने का ये हुआ था.
हाँ,
This
हाँ.
year wind was not favorable. Even in that section wind was not favorable. So हमारा पहले का estimate was right कि 24 घंटे में पहुंच जाएंगे. Even तो अगर वो 30 किलोमीटर एक्स्ट्रा भी होता था तो भी हम पहुंच ही जाते 24 घंटे में, बिकॉज वी ऑलवेज यूज टू कीप 1 आवर का बफर कि 1 घंटा तो लेट होगा ही होगा पकड़ के. बट या विंड बहुत ज्यादा था. सो विंड की वजह से देन आई गॉट स्लो, तो 3 घंटा वो एक्स्ट्रा गया. सो कैंसस वाज द टफेस्ट. And best section, I would say first 700 kilometers of ram. Even though it was hotter, but we were on the right track. We were not pushing. I was not feeling tired. So I think first 700 kilometer was the best section. And even the Wolf Creek ka section, because I did Wolf Creek non-stop, almost non-stop.
So for those who are not aware about the section, so can you just describe them, how they were,
So
what was the terrain?
So the first section is mostly desert
Hmm.
with lots of climbs. Only I guess 150 to 200 kilometer is flat. Thereafter it gradually gains the elevation, and that is the most toughest part of the ram. But it never feels toughest because it is at the start. अगर यही section end में होता तो I can see a lot of people giving up, because first 145 kilometer has more than 2200 meters elevation gain, and the temperature is not favorable. So yeah, and even that Yarnell climb before the sleep, it is around 8 kilometer long climb with average gradient of 7. So it is around 42 degree Celsius. With 42 degree Celsius, we almost pour 20 liters of water on me for that entire climb in around 45 minutes, because मैं पूरा भीग जाता था, and I used to get dry immediately in like 30 seconds. So we are continuously putting water to keep core temperature low. And whenever such challenging conditions arise, and if I am riding non-stop, then it motivates me again, because we are again feel like that we are well prepared. The mental uh, thing is at place. So yeah, and the Wolf Creek section is highest pass of ram route, which is 3300 meter. It was constantly raining. Temperature was below 0 degree. I still remember crew का वाट लग गया था वहां पे बाहर उतर के रुकने के लिए, because I was on the bike, so मेरा body गर्म था. I was wearing all those warmers and all, and it was raining. So I decided to change my bike on the top for downhill. And that is on the live feed also on my that All About Ultracycling का page पे. And you can see कि crew से glass नहीं पकड़ा जा रहा है वहां पे, because अगर कोई ग्लास पकड़ गया तो ग्लास हिल गया, एंड अगर वो ग्लास टेबल रखने का ट्राई करेगा तो उसका बॉडी हिल गया पूरा. सो बहुत 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 वाट लग गई थी वहां पे सबकी, बिकॉज इतना ठंडा था वहां पे. बट या it was good. Yeah.
So of course not the climatic conditions cannot be replicated, but how much of it is accurate when you are riding in India, or also riding indoors?
Nothing. You can't replicate anything. You just can replicate the heat, maybe going to Nagpur or something. But Arizona's heat is something different, because Arizona heat is totally dry.
Jaisalmer?
ना, I don't think कि Arizona जैसा ये weather होगा. See, the thing is, you don't see trees at all. Okay, there are lot of heavy vehicles, those transformers
Yeah.
goes in like 120 kmph, 100 kmph. The engine is so hot and
Hmm.
they create such strong winds, वो आपको
Yeah.
पूरा रास्ते से साइड में ढकेल देती है. Okay, that is a different thing. Jaisalmer mein, if you go for heat training, you are not doing that section after riding 400 or 500 kilometers. You are going there fresh and you are riding that section. Okay, तो गरम में कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला है. And with that competition का feel, it goes to some different level.
Yeah.
Because you are actually in the competition. In training session you have a lot of room to do errors, you have lot of room to make mistakes, but in competition you can't
Yeah.
do these mistakes. So I don't think you can replicate anything with the ram ka route. You
Hmm.
can't create such strong winds, you can't create such hot weather, you can't create such steep climbs with such cold weather. I'll not joke. Last के 600 kilometers में there are multiple climbs which are from like 200 meters to 1 kilometer, and the average gradient of these climbs are around 12 to 14%. Imagine after riding
Almost.
4,300 kilometer. So even for a lot of cyclists, even keeping that balance is difficult. कि उतने
Hmm.
steep climb पे हमको चलाना भी है बाद में. So you have to choose your gear ratios very properly. You can't go to 28 ka cassette on
Hmm.
last few days. You have to keep all these cassettes to around 32, 30 ka ratio. So this is all planning to do
Hmm.
RAM. So, but yeah, you can't replicate anything.
And I'm sure this insight you would have gotten for the second time, not the first one.
No, usually
Uh,
I initially used to love climbing
yeah.
पहले से ही. So इस टाइम तो इतने सारे सेक्शंस थे जो मेरे को याद भी नहीं था कि मैंने 2019 में किए थे, बिकॉज मैं हमेशा सोया हुआ ही था.
Hmm. Hmm.
मतलब मैं बहुत ज्यादा नींद में था जब मैं चला गया था. दिस टाइम आई सॉ द जेफरसन सिटी का हाईवे एंड आई वाज लाइक ये रेस का पार्ट क्यों है. मतलब ये हाईवे नहीं सेफ है साइकिलिस्ट के लिए, बिकॉज यू सो मल्टीपल एग्जिट्स है उस हाईवे पे,
हाँ.
एंड when you have to take exit you have to be on the extreme right on that exit
Right.
lane. Okay,
Correct.
but the route goes straight. Okay,
Yeah.
and first two lanes are the lanes which go straight. तो आप उस
Right.
लेन में नहीं रह सकते हो बिकॉज वहां पे आप ट्रैफिक ब्लॉक कर रहे हो.
हाँ.
The best thing while you ride is you are on the right, extreme right. But अभी
Hmm.
जब exit का लेन आता है you have to be on the right. पीछे से
Hmm.
गाड़ियां इतनी फास्ट आती है बिकॉज उनको exit लेना होता है. They are
Correct.
not expecting you to block that exit wala lane. Again you take that exit wala lane extreme right. Okay, not even exit wala lane, extreme right. Then
Yeah.
आपको merge होके वो exit lane में आना पड़ता है. Then you continue and follow that आगे वाला lane. उधर से one lane will be merging from the city जो अंदर से आ रही होते, that is entry lane. तो that becomes more becomes very risky.
Hazard. Hmm.
एंड ये सारे सेक्शंस मैंने 2019 में नींद में किए थे.
Oh.
तो मेरे को पता भी नहीं था कि ये सारा इतना टफ सेक्शंस है रैम में, कि जिसमें मतलब तुम थोड़े से ये हुआ तो आई नो कि तभी रत्नदीप ने कैसे हैंडल किया था कंटिन्यूअसली बात
हाँ.
करते 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 हुए. तो उस टाइम पे सेक्शन में रत्नदीप वाज देयर एंड रत्नदीप यूज्ड टू कंटिन्यूअसली टॉक टू मी कि
Yeah.
अरे राईटला थांब, राईटला घे, नाउ लेफ्टला घे. सो
हाँ.
दिस टाइम ऋत्विक वाज आल्सो देयर. सो दीज
Yeah.
गाइज आर लाइक माय आईज, क्योंकि आप कंटिन्यूअसली पीछे नहीं मुड़ मुड़ के देख सकते हो कि क्या है.
Hmm.
अगर वो बोल रहा है कि राइट में जा तो मैं राइट में जाऊंगा, और
हाँ.
ही हैज जीरो रूम टू डू एनी मिस्टेक. बिकॉज अगर उसने बोला कि राइट में जाओ और मैं तब तक राइट में गया और पीछे से कोई गाड़ी आई एंड ही सेड कि नहीं नहीं अभी मत जा, वो मैं सुनने के
हाँ.
लिए बचूंगा भी नहीं कि अभी मत जा. तो वो वैसे हो जाएगा, लाल बटन दिख रहा है दबा दिया, हाँ नहीं दबाना था. तो वो नहीं चलता है यहाँ पे. सो यू कैंट रिप्लिकेट दीज थिंग्स एंड such sections. US is super safe to ride bicycle but equally dangerous to ride bicycle because
You're on
वहाँ पे
interstate. So.
एंड वहाँ पे लोग ट्रैफिक सिग्नल को भगवान मानते हैं. अगर
हाँ.
रेड सिग्नल है तो वो सोचते हैं कि हर कोई रुकेगा.
एंड आप लोग
मतलब
को भी
हर
रुकना ही पड़ता
बंदा
है ना रेड
रुकेगा,
पे?
सबको रुकना पड़ता है। ओके,
हाँ
सो वहां पे अगर कोई 160 के स्पीड से जा रहा है, 140 के स्पीड से जाएगा ऑन द हाईवे, वो इमेजिन नहीं करेगा कि कोई साइकिलिस्ट वहां पे होगा, अचानक से वो लेन में घुस जाएगा नींद में। वो उसी स्पीड से जाने वाला है। यहाँ पे हमको पता होता है कि अगर कोई कार रुका है तो हमें पता है
हाँ
कि होता है कि हमारे पास कितने एडुकेटेड लोग हैं कि जो अचानक से कार का दरवाजा भी खोल सकते हैं। तो हम लोग इमेजिन
पहले
करके चलते कि बाबा हम साइड में जाएंगे तो हमको गिरा भी सकता है, तो थोड़ा दूर से जाओ। बट वहां पे वो लोग नहीं सोचते ये सब, क्योंकि वहां पे ऐसा कोई करता नहीं है। एंड व्हेन यू डू सच मिस्टेक, देन आपकी जान भी जाएगी कि आप
हम्म
अचानक से लेन में घुस गए, या आपने एग्जिट में से, जो एग्जिट लेने वाले लोग हैं वो उसी स्पीड से जाता है,
हाँ
तो अगर आप उस लेन में हो, अचानक से आप उस उधर मर्ज हो गए, तो यू आर नॉट सपोज टू डू दीज थिंग्स। तो मेरी तो इस बार फट गई थी ये सारे सेक्शंस देख के कि बाप रे मैंने कैसे किया लास्ट टाइम में ये। हमारा ऐसे होता है कि
उसके बारे
जल्दी
में
खत्म हो
हमको
जाए ये
सपना
सेक्शन।
दीदी बताएंगी कैसे किया।
आगे जब जा रहा था, लाइक
हाँ
जब आई लॉस्ट माय सेंसेस 2019 में, तभी
या
वो थोड़ा ओके पैच था। मतलब तभी तुम कवर कर सकते थे कार से, भले ही गाड़ियां जा गई थी, बट थोड़ा सा उनका वॉल्यूम कम था वो व्हीकल्स का।
राइट
बट जेफरसन हाईवे वाज लाइक मुंबई पुणे एक्सप्रेस हाईवे से भी ज्यादा क्राउडेड है।
हम्म
तो जेफरसन सिटी का वो जो हाईवे था, बट वो बहुत ही ये था। और लास्ट टाइम मैंने नींद में चलाया, बट मैं इतना नींद में था कि मेरे को आई नो कि मैं जोन के बाहर था, बट मैं बैलेंस नहीं लूज कर रहा था। बट दैट इज
हाँ
ऑल्सो रिस्की कि अचानक से झपकी लग गई और आप चले गए।
या
अगर वैसे हाईवे पे अगर मैं वैसे नाक की तरह जाता तो मेरे को सुला देते लोग फटक से
हम्म
कि दिस इज रिस्की। बट तभी मुझे भी नहीं पता था कि मैं इतना नींद में हूँ, क्रू को भी नहीं पता था कि मैं इतना नींद में हूँ। और मुझे अभी याद आ गया कि ये तो सेक्शन हमने देखे भी नहीं थे।
हम्म
सो दैट इज ब्रूटल। इवन सपना को भी पता होगा कि उसको काफी सेक्शंस ऐसे लगे होंगे कि जो उसने देखे ही नहीं थे। सब लोग ट्रिप पे थे 2019 में।
हाँ, so what he said is completely right. 2019 का most of the things even I didn't remember कि किधर क्या था किधर क्या नहीं था. But इस बार का आप मुझे पूछोगे कबीर ने कौन सा चीज कहाँ खाया था वो तक मुझे याद है. So like this time I mean it was quite like Kabir said it was quite smooth.
या
And that was, and definitely because of the preparation everything that we had done, and plus he had too many additions this time, like this glucose monitor that he has. Now we know that okay ठीक है हमें क्या देखना है, जबरदस्ती तो नहीं ठुसाना है, क्या नहीं करना है, क्या
हम्म
करना है. And there are so many things that which have helped us that okay now sometimes we used to give him some food that which I don't think is necessary or is required to give him. So he tells us okay ठीक है ये है, and we can check that in his phone, okay what is his glucose level etc. So we have to accordingly then manage कि okay ठीक है now we have to give him this or we have to give him that. Plus this year I think because it was prepared everything, so now we remember कि okay we are at this place, and we got a good amount of sleep this time than the last time. Because last time due to the maybe the lack of preparations from my end also, we did not get that proper kind of a sleep etc. But this time it was perfect, and till
या
last day neither the rider nor the crew was tired. So everybody was like कि ठीक है फिर से एक बार उल्टा भी जाना है तो जा सकते हैं, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं.
so my next question is about how do you it's not just the rider who needs to be well oiled but also the crew. So um, how do you be more efficient as a crew when he's riding?
Okay, so this time I think I mean we were aware कि okay ठीक है दिन में एक शिफ्ट को दिन में एक ही बार ढंग से खाना मिलेगा, and everybody was mentally prepared for that. Unlike last time like full day and full night shift, we had this time half day half night shift, so like 12
Yeah.
hours का, which ultimately 5-6 दिन के बाद पूरा उल्टा ऊपर नीचे सब हो जाता है, क्योंकि आप रोज एक दो घंटा भी अगर थोड़ा एक्सीड हो जाएगा शिफ्ट तो अल्टीमेटली इट्स गोना चेंज. So and people in I think the crew were quite फ्लेक्सिबल कि ओके ठीक है, कहीं पे कुछ नहीं है, गाड़ी में बैठ के ब्रेड बटर खा लो, ब्रेड जाम खा लो, या चीज सैंडविच बना के खा लो, वट एवर इज अवेलेबल, वट एवर इज विद इन द रीच, people were eating that and working on that. So everybody's, whenever we used to go off duty, everybody's first goal used to be कि properly 5 घंटा सो जाओ, so that we are fresh to again join back. So the main concern was okay ठीक है, ठीक से सोना है. So our main duty when we are off duty is to sleep. We don't want to go, like we don't want to venture out या do time pass and then sleep nahi hua. When we are on duty, then we are feeling asleep and then we are sleeping in the car. No, not at all. So whatever eating and all, they used to do it mostly when they are like catching Kabir or going ahead of Kabir. So they used to eat in the vehicle itself. And ड्यूरिंग अ डे कभी एक आध बार चांस मिल गया तो कोई कुछ खा लेगा या कुछ. एंड द आई थिंक द बिगेस्ट टास्क फॉर अस ओवर देयर इज कि सबको चाय पीने का बहुत आदत है, एंड यू डोंट गेट चाय वहां पे से उतर के मुंह उठा के चाय मांग लिया कहीं पे भी, ऐसा नहीं होता
चाय
है.
टी.
सो 10 दिन बेचारे 10-12 दिन सबको बेचारा रास्ते पे किसी को भी चाय पीने का कितना भी मन करेगा तो कोई
हाँ.
ऑप्शन नहीं है ना, वहाँ पे चाय तो मिलने वाली नहीं है, तो कॉफी पी लो या कुछ भी काम चला लो. सो यू नो काजी राइट. सो हमारा ये जो जयपुर मुंबई वाला जो राइड था, हमारा एक व्हीकल थोड़ा खराब हो गया था, तो वी बोथ वर क्रूइंग, और एक जगह पे एक ढाबा था जहाँ पे कबीर सोया था, और इट वॉज पास्ट लंच टाइम ऑलमोस्ट. सो वो गया ढाबे पे, उसे पता है कभी 7 मिनट के नैप के लिए सोया तो कभी 7 मिनट में उठ जाएगा. सो ही वेंट,
मोजार्ट भी लगाया था.
So, ढाबे वाले को पूछे कि भैया क्या है खाने के लिए, तो ही इज लाइक हाँ मैं बना के देता हूँ ना. फिर बोला बना के नहीं, क्या रेडी है वो बता. तो बोला रोटी है. बोला उसके साथ कुछ अंडा वंडा मिलेगा. अंडा मीन्स काजी तो ऑमलेट मिलेगा. वो दे गया बॉयल अंडा. काजी बॉयल अंडा और रोटी लेके आया, एंड ही टेल्स मी दीदी खा लो. मैंने कहा यार बॉयल अंडे के साथ रोटी कौन खाता है. कहता दीदी एक बात गांठ मार लो अपने पास, कबीर के साथ हो तो मिट्टी कंकड़ छोड़ के कुछ भी खाना सीख लो. ओके ठीक है. So everybody knows कि you have to be like energetic, properly fueled and all. So but it's not, no one was fussy कि नहीं मैं ये नहीं खाता या मैं वो नहीं खाता, मुझे यही चाहिए या मुझे वही चाहिए. Because crew has to take care of themselves. अगर आप properly नहीं ठीक हो तो आप कबीर का ध्यान कैसे रखोगे. And I'm glad that everybody was following that properly कि okay ठीक से सोना है, ठीक से खाना है, क्या मिलता है वो अलग बात है, लेकिन नींद अच्छी मिलनी चाहिए.
Right. Cool. Anything that I'm missing out?
The toughest section for crew नहीं cover हुआ.
हाँ वो मैं
toughest
पूछा था
section and most easiest. हाँ हमने वो flow में चलेगा हम लोग.
हाँ, so I think toughest for crew is always what I feel is starting का and end का. Starting का because you don't know how it is going to turn up. So mentally you are always thinking कि सब ठीक जाएगा नहीं जाएगा, ठीक जाएगा नहीं जाएगा, and plus you know that there is Arizona का section which is coming and all that. So you have to take care of yourself, you have to take care of Kabir. So वो थोड़ा I think mentally थोड़ा ये हो जाता है crew के लिए, mentally थोड़ा सा challenging हो जाता है the beginning का section. And end का section I feel is because you know कि यहाँ तक सब ठीक गया है तो आगे कुछ गड़बड़ नहीं होना चाहिए. And plus everybody is tired after like 9 days or whatever you have put in already. So towards the end also it is. So in between जो section होता है वो थोड़ा सा स्मूथ वगैरह ऐसा फील होता है कि हाँ हम लोग अभी रिदम में हैं तो डेली वही कर रहे हैं तो हमको वही करते रहना है. बट आई थिंक दिस टाइम बिकॉज ऑफ व्हाट वी सॉ कबीर डूइंग इन कैंसस लाइक 30 odd hours he was riding in completely headwinds वगैरह में. सो लाइक हम लोगों को ऐसा फील होता था कि यार कुछ होता जो हम कर सकते हैं इसके लिए, लाइक देयर इज रियली नथिंग दैट वी कैन डू. मीन्स मी एंड काजी वी यूज्ड टू गेट डाउन ऑफ द कार, एंड ऐसा होता था कि हम हवा से पुश हो गए और गाड़ी हमारा हिल गए. सो हमें लगता था कि ये साइकिल कैसे चला गया, मतलब हाउ इज इट पॉसिबल टू राइड इन दिस काइंड ऑफ, इफ वी हैव टू गिव हिम हैंड्स ऑफ वी हैड टू लाइक रियली मैनेज आवरसेल्व्स कि नहीं नहीं हमारा हाथ इधर जा रहा है हवा से या उधर जा रहा है. सो it was really tough, and we were feeling only what we were feeling is like we wish that we had something that we could have done and it would have helped him. So it was like feeling वो डेंगू में जैसा घर वालों को फीलिंग आता है ना, कुछ तो होता जो मैं कर सकता, ये तो प्लेटलेट ना बढ़ गए ना कुछ हो गया ना डॉक्टर कुछ कर सकता है. रियली वैसा फीलिंग था मेरे लिए कि जस्ट सिट एंड वॉच, यू कांट डू एनीथिंग.
Terrific. So last time the closing was quite to the cut. How was it this time? How was the last 200 kilometer stretch? especially the
This
last
time,
parts that you mentioned that had a lot of elevation and winds coming in.
अरे दिस टाइम तो मैं बहुत परेशान किया इन लोग को.
हाँ हाँ
मैं 30 किलोमीटर पहले भी सोया, 30 नहीं 15-16 किलोमीटर पहले भी फिनिश लाइन के, बिकॉज
हाँ हाँ
मेरे को ऐसे हुआ था कि पोजीशन तो चेंज नहीं होने वाली है ना, आगे वाले के हम आगे नहीं जाने वाले, पीछे वाले
हम्म,
हमसे आगे नहीं जाने वाला है. एंड आई वाज फीलिंग थोड़ा सा स्लीपी, सो मैं सो गया वहां पे थोड़ा सा. फिर इन लोगों ने मुझे 10 मिनट के बाद उठाया कार में, और इन लोगों को ऐसे हुआ था कि अभी हो गया ना खत्म, 10 किलोमीटर में आधे घंटे का काम बाकी, इतना चला के आया है. उधर
हाँ
लोग वेट कर रहे हैं अपना फिनिश लाइन पे, बाकी के क्रू लोग तो जाते हैं. फिर मैं गया, फिर वहां पे जहाँ पे तुम फ्यूल स्टेशन पे पहुंचने के बाद, दैट इज अराउंड 7-8 किलोमीटर्स पहले आई गेस,
हाँ
वहां पे मैं बैठ के अच्छे से खाया, क्योंकि वो क्लॉक स्टॉप्स वहां पे जाने के बाद जस्ट थोड़ा सा जो टाइम है वो एड ऑन हो जाता है. वहां पे बैठ के मैं खाया प्रॉपरली. सुबह आई गेस 3 बजे थे या 2 बजे थे आई गेस. वहां पे
हाँ
बैठ के खाया वगैरह. मैं तो एकदम आराम आराम से गया लास्ट लास्ट में, एंड में मैंने कुछ स्ट्रेस नहीं लिया इस बार. और इस बार बहुत स्मूथ ही था,
पीसफुली
काफी
हो.
अच्छा
हाँ
बफर था. बिकॉज पहले 5-6 दिन में अगर देखेगा, सो वी वर एस्टिमेटिंग की अराउंड 10 days एंड ऑड आवर्स, कुछ 4 घंटे 5 घंटे ऐसे हम लोग पहुंच जाएंगे, बट कैंसस के विंड ने सारा गड़बड़ कर दिया. इट टुक
हाँ
अवे द एंटायर बफर. बट फिर भी ऐसा नहीं हुआ था कि वी वर लैकिंग बिहाइंड और जो कुछ भी है, वी वर स्ट्रॉन्ग, और सब लोग आसपास में ही थे जो भी सारे कॉम्पिटिटर्स थे. तो
हाँ
हाँ, तो ऐसा कोई प्रॉब्लमेटिक नहीं था कि लास्ट टाइम बहुत ज्यादा. सो 2019 में मैंने लास्ट के 600 किलोमीटर्स 2022 से ज्यादा फास्ट चलाए थे, बिकॉज तभी आई वाज ऑन गैस कि ये
या
खत्म होगा या नहीं होगा पता भी नहीं है. तो वो जो अंदर से योर बॉडी पुशेस,
एड्रेनलिन पुश.
या वो आना इस बार तो पॉसिबल ही नहीं था, बिकॉज इस बार बहुत ज्यादा कंफर्टेबली थे.
हम्म.
सो या इस बार टोटली डिफरेंट एक्सपीरियंस था. आई होप अभी नेक्स्ट टाइम जाएंगे तो और भी कुछ अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस हो, जो इससे भी अलग
एब्सोल्युटली.
हो. हाँ, सो
अभी
वो
अभी नया कौन
एड्रेनलिन.
सा रेस करने का प्लान है? हिमालयन जा रहे हो?
अभी तो नहीं, हिमालय नहीं जा रहा हूँ. 5 नवंबर को 24 का टाइम ट्रायल है बोरेगो में, वर्ल्ड टाइम ट्रायल.
हाँ
सो
हाँ
आई विल बी गोइंग फॉर दैट, और फिर उसके बाद
ओके.
डीसी, और फिर देखते क्या क्या प्लान होता है.
टाइम ट्रायल का कैसा है? So
टाइम ट्रायल इज
it's a complete different format, right? So
So
how do
this
you
will be
adjust
this
yourself to
will
it?
be um, totally like F1. You can't take support in that normal lane. You have to come to in that pit lane. Then
Hmm.
आपको आपका speed भी decrease करना पड़ता है even when you are coming in that pit lane. Then there
Nuances.
somebody will be there to support me with the
Yeah.
bottles and all. Then I'll take bottle and I'll merge into that main track. So the
Hmm.
track is around 27 kilometers. And for last 2 hours you merge into that 3 kilometer ka section, because
Hmm. Hmm.
if you don't complete the loop, they don't consider your distance. So it
Okay.
is totally on the loop ka distance pe
Hmm.
they
Hmm. Hmm.
measure the loop. If it is 30 kilometer and if you do 3 loops, then it will be 90 kilometer, irrespective of Garmin shows 10 kilometers or anything, but they will take it as a 9 kilometer like a stadium run. So
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
वैसा ही होता है. एंड lot of participants are there, like almost more than 300 participants come every year in all the categories like 6, 12, 24. So और मजा आता है. एक अगर एक दिन का, I feel time trials are harder than these long endurance races, because you have to push a lot in
Hmm.
24 hour का ये. You don't have any room for mistakes.
Yeah.
If you do, if anything happens, it hampers you a lot. अगर रैम में कोई टायर फ्लैट हुआ है तो इतना प्रॉब्लम नहीं लगेगा कि हाँ
Hmm.
चलो फ्लैट हुआ था चेंज कर दिया. बट अगर 24 का टाइम ट्रायल में अगर कुछ फ्लैट होता है तो इट टेक्स यू 3-4 मिनट्स.
So,
तो वो
and can you switch your cycle or you have to ride in the same cycle?
We can keep a spare bike, and if
Hmm.
we have some technical issues or mechanical issues, we can change the bike. But
Okay.
आप जब on the loop हो, आपको support vehicle नहीं है, you have to be on your own. अगर
Hmm.
मेरा 5 किलोमीटर पहले फ्लैट होता है, there will be volunteers, but वो हेल्प आने तक, वो सपोर्ट होने तक, या आपको खुद फ्लैट रिपेयर करने तक, it takes lot of time.
Yeah.
रैम में वैसा नहीं है. रैम में आपका फ्लैट हुआ, somebody will get down and change the wheel and he
Right.
will be, yeah, you are on the bike. But यहाँ पे सारा thing change हो जाता है. You have to take a lot of water with you because you don't want to come into that pit lane every hour or after every loop. So you will ride with lot of weight. Then in December, this time trial is there, so it will be winter. So
Yeah.
mostly लोग एरिजोना में गर्मी की वजह से क्विट करते हैं. इन these 24 hour time trial people quit because of lot of cold.
Also,
So
wind will be there since it's a desert.
wind will be there. Yeah, it is desert, so wind will be there. And yeah, it is a different kind of maybe challenge, but देखते हैं कैसा जाता है वो.
Hmm.
Yeah.
जबरदस्त. And I'm looking forward to it. And फिर से बात करेंगे.
Yes, 2 बाकी है तेरे फ्री सब्सक्रिप्शन.
उसके लिए तो आना पड़ेगा फिर नवी मुंबई.
आना पड़ेगा. Yes, डन आजा तू आजा.
Yep.
ठीक है,
And
चलेगा.
I just wanted to ask you this in this time trial. So how do you pace yourself? What do you do to because usually in the usual time trial you go all out for 40 kilometers.
Correct. So we
how
have
do
to
you
be
pace your 24 hours?
Yeah, after doing so many races, you know how much your body is capable of doing in these races. So if you're using power meter, then I usually pace myself around 60 to 70% of the FTP. Okay, because you can't survive 80 or 90% throughout the 24 hours. So I pace myself at 60 to 70% of my capacity. So we don't go all out because even it is a time trial, it's a 24-hour time trial. It's not something 1 hour time trial where you can go all out and you can push yourself. You have to pace very smartly so that you don't lose any efficiency. And last का
Yeah.
2 घंटा तो you can push maximum की जितना है, but तभी का maximum automatically comes to your 70-80%. It
Right.
is never more than your 80%. क्योंकि start में जब आप maximum push करते हो, that is different, and end में जो maximum push करते हो,
Of
that is
course.
different with sword
Of
legs.
course.
So you have to keep some target कि पहले हमने 24 घंटे में maximum कितना किया था. You can say कि बाबा हाँ उससे 20 kilometers I can see कि maximum हो सकता है, because उससे ज़्यादा margin gain होना totally depends on the wind कि wind कैसा मिल रहा है आपको फिर.
Right.
If it's tailwind you can get, but because it is in a loop, so आपको अगर tail है तो आपको head भी मिलने वाला है.
हाँ.
तो so that is not gonna help you, but हाँ देखते हैं कैसा जाएगा.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kabir and Sapna, for being with us. And I hope we do it very soon once again. And
Thank
थोड़ा
you,
धमाका
Rohan.
वाला करेंगे अगले बार.
Yes.
धमाका वाला क्या? डांस करने के लिए लोग बुलाएंगे.
हाँ, लाइव पॉडकास्ट करके
लाइव पॉडकास्ट करेंगे. डन.
पब्लिक को बुलाएंगे.
चलेगा.
Yes.
ग्रेट भेंट.
यस.
ठीक.